What if I told you that one of Hollywood's most glamorous stars, Nicole Kidman, wasn't just in the wrong place at the wrong time, but that her very life was being sabotaged, month after month? Yes, you heard that right. While the cameras flashed and fans cheered, behind the velvet ropes, something sinister was brewing. Could someone so close to her, someone she trusted, actually be poisoning her? And not just once, but repeatedly, over weeks, maybe even months. Enter Dr. Daniel Amen, the man who claims he uncovered the shocking truth that has Hollywood shaking in its designer heels. And right in the middle of it all, Keith Urban. Yes, country music's golden boy, or is he? What role did he play when Nicole's life hung by a thread? Was it carelessness, negligence, or something far darker? Tonight, we're peeling back the red carpet and exposing the secret horrors hiding behind the glitz and glam. The drugs, the betrayal, the cover-ups, it's all coming to light. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear isn't just scandalous, it's explosive. It's terrifying, and it will make you question everything you thought you knew about fame, trust, and Hollywood itself. Nicole Kidman, Hollywood royalty, Oscar-winning elegance, and a name that commands respect worldwide. But behind the glittering gowns and red carpet smiles, a nightmare was quietly unfolding, one that could have ended her life before the world even blinked. It all started after what seemed like a normal rehearsal for a major film awards show. Nicole was driving home, calm, composed, the picture of sophistication, until the unexpected happened. A sudden crash, a car spinning out of control, heart-stopping chaos. At first, the story was simple: fatigue, stress, maybe a lapse in concentration. Nothing more, just a tragic accident. But as any true investigative journalist, or in this case, an investigative exposed narrator knows, the truth is rarely simple. Dr. Daniel Amen, renowned for his forensic approach to health and behavior, was the first to sense something far darker lurking beneath the surface. When Nicole's vitals were checked in detail, what they found was nothing short of shocking, dangerous, unauthorized substances coursing through her system. Drugs she had never consented to. Drugs that, if taken over time, could have been lethal. And that's when the pieces started to fall into place. This wasn't just a car accident. This was months of covert poisoning, a carefully orchestrated campaign by those who should have been protecting her. Who could do such a thing? The immediate suspects weren't distant strangers or shadowy figures in the night. No, these were the people closest to Nicole, her team, her label, even those she trusted implicitly. People whose jobs were supposed to safeguard her career, her health, and her life. Instead, self-interest, ambition, and greed turned allies into adversaries. Lavish spending sprees disguised as business necessities, secret late-night meetings, and unexplained medical treatments that conveniently left Nicole weakened and vulnerable. Every new revelation added another layer to a conspiracy that seemed almost too cruel to be true. And then there was Keith Urban, America's darling of country music, a man whose image is polished, wholesome, and touchable. But even the brightest stars can cast the darkest shadows. Witnesses close to the situation revealed private conversations, moments of panic, and late-night consultations that hinted at his own fear, guilt, and confusion. Was he complicit? Or was he simply blindsided, desperate to save the woman he loved from a nightmare he couldn't yet fully comprehend? His emotional collapse behind closed doors became part of the story. No one was ready to air until now. Sources who spoke under the strictest conditions of anonymity described chaotic scenes at Nicole's residence and medical facilities. Nurses whispering about unexplained medications, personal assistants confused and terrified, security staff forced to follow conflicting instructions. And in the middle of all this, Nicole herself wounded, bewildered, but unbroken. Despite the physical trauma and mental anguish, she maintained a resilience that few could imagine. "I had to survive," one insider claims she whispered. "I had to know the truth, even if it destroyed everything around me." Meanwhile, Dr. Daniel Amen launched an immediate investigation, combing through records, tracing medication histories, and connecting dots that others had ignored or deliberately concealed. he found patterns that suggested months of systematic tampering, pills replaced, dosages altered, subtle manipulations designed to appear harmless yet highly dangerous over time. And while the world applauded Nicole for her grace under pressure, few realized she was fighting an invisible battle that threatened her very existence. As shocking as these revelations were, the public was not yet ready for the full scope. Social media buzzed with speculation, rumors, and half-truths. Fans posted frantic theories, tabloids ran with sensational headlines, and the rumor mill churned out chaos daily. And in the midst of it all, Keith Urban stood as a pillar of support, or perhaps a man trying to rebuild his own shattered reputation. But even he could not prevent the undercurrent of betrayal flowing through Nicole's circle. The subtle, quiet sabotage that had almost claimed her life. By the end of this first chapter, one thing was abundantly clear. What appeared to be a simple accident was, in reality, the tip of an iceberg. A dark, twisted, and meticulously orchestrated series of events that had been quietly unfolding, leaving Nicole vulnerable and powerless, even as cameras flashed and fans cheered. And just when the world thought it had seen the worst, the investigation uncovered even more shocking truths that would leave Hollywood gasping and shake the very foundations of trust and fame, fortune, and the people closest to you. But here's the kicker: this was only the beginning. Because as Dr. Daniel Amen dug deeper, what he uncovered next would make the initial poisoning look almost tame by comparison. Hidden agendas, secret meetings, betrayals, and actions that crossed moral and legal lines were waiting to be revealed. And trust me, when you see what this video exposes, you'll realize that Nicole's life was not just in danger, it was a ticking time bomb, and everyone in Hollywood had a stake in either defusing it or watching it explode. As the dust began to settle from Nicole Kidman's near-fatal accident, the world thought they understood the story: a tragic mishap, unfortunate timing, and bad luck. But anyone following Dr. Daniel Amen's investigation quickly realized that this was far from a simple accident. The deeper he dug, the more shocking the truth became. Hollywood's glittering veneer was hiding a scandal so audacious it could make even the most jaded insiders gasp. Sources close to the investigation who insisted on anonymity, citing fear of retaliation, revealed a tangled web of deception. It was like watching a thriller in slow motion. One insider said, "Every meeting, every email, every late-night phone call pointed to one thing: someone wanted Nicole weak, confused, and vulnerable." The reports showed unexplained deliveries of medications, altered prescriptions, and mysterious instructions from within her own management team. These were people whose sole purpose should have been protecting her health and career. Instead, they were orchestrating a plan that could have ended in disaster. And Keith Urban? Well, the public saw a devastated partner offering unwavering support. Behind the scenes, insiders describe a man teetering on the edge of panic. Keith was blindsided, another source whispered. He didn't realize the depth of the betrayal until the first lab results came back. It was like someone pulled the rug out from under him while he was holding Nicole's life in his hands. Late-night calls, private consultations with Dr. Amen, and frantic attempts to verify medications became the new norm for Keith. Friends describe him as haunted yet determined, a man trying to fight the shadows that lurked in a world he thought he knew. The scandal didn't stay contained for long. As details leaked, social media erupted. Fans were divided between outrage, disbelief, and concern. Memes flooded Twitter, hashtags trended worldwide, and tabloids splashed headlines like "Nicole poisoned?", "Keith Urban in crisis," and "Hollywood's darkest secrets revealed." Anonymous sources claimed that inside parties laughed at the public panic while privately covering their tracks, further inflaming speculation. But the financial angle made it even juicier. Allegedly, lavish spending disguised as medical treatments and health monitoring funneled money to accounts with no legitimate oversight. Insiders alleged these funds were being diverted by people in Nicole's own circle, all while she was kept in the dark about her own health. It was a perfect storm of greed and negligence, said one investigative source. Imagine trusting the people who are supposed to protect you and realizing they're the ones putting you at risk. in the midst of the chaos, Dr. Amen became a figure of both admiration and controversy. His forensic findings, combined with exhaustive lab tests, reveal a pattern of tampering that some medical experts described as chilling and unprecedented in celebrity care. One fake leaked report claimed that even minor alterations in Nicole's prescriptions could have caused irreversible organ damage. The audacity was staggering. Hollywood's golden girl, at the height of her career, systematically weakened while the public remained oblivious. Public reaction wasn't just online. At industry events, whispers of the scandal spread like wildfire. Fellow actors and producers were reportedly shocked and appalled, some expressing fear for their own safety in what appeared to be a cutthroat environment where loyalty meant nothing. "No one is safe," one unnamed producer allegedly told a friend. If it could happen to Nicole, it could happen to anyone. The story became more than just a celebrity mishap. It was a chilling case study of how fame, trust, and wealth could be weaponized against the very people who earned it. Even the media couldn't resist a frenzy. Interviews, panel discussions, and late-night talk shows speculated endlessly. Headlines asked provocative questions. Who is behind Nicole's poisoning? Is Keith Urban complicit or just a bystander? Will Hollywood ever recover from this betrayal? The intrigue was palpable, the tension electric. And as the world watched, the narrative evolved from tragic accident to meticulously orchestrated scheme, with Dr. Amen standing as the lone whistleblower willing to expose the ugly truth. By the end of video, it was undeniable. Nicole Kidman had been targeted by a calculated series of actions designed to manipulate, weaken, and endanger her. Every insider testimony, every leaked report, every scandalous revelation painted a picture of betrayal on a scale few could have imagined. And while Keith Urban struggled to navigate the fallout, Dr. Amen's investigations promised even more explosive revelations, ones that would shake Hollywood, challenge its power structures, and force the industry to confront its darkest corners. But the real shock was yet to come. Because as the investigation expanded, the consequences for those responsible both in Nicole's inner circle and in Hollywood at large were only just beginning to unfold. Legal threats, public backlash, and hidden vendettas were converging into a storm that no one would walk away from unscathed. And as video will reveal, the fallout wasn't just professional, it was personal, emotional, and potentially catastrophic for everyone involved. As Dr. Daniel Amen's investigation reached its tipping point, the truth about Nicole Kidman's ordeal could no longer be contained. The evidence was overwhelming: weeks of covert poisoning, manipulation by those entrusted with her safety, and a web of lies that implicated some of Hollywood's most influential figures. What began as whispers in corridors and anonymous leaks had now exploded into headlines that shook the entertainment world. Legal teams mobilized immediately. Attorneys representing Nicole filed urgent motions to investigate every individual involved in her care, from personal assistants to executives at her label. This is not just a medical issue. One source revealed, it's criminal. There's clear intent, clear negligence, and potentially life-threatening actions. Those responsible could face serious charges. Courtroom experts predicted a high-stakes legal battle, with the potential for resignations, lawsuits, and perhaps even federal scrutiny if negligence was proven on a systemic level. Meanwhile, public outrage reached a fever pitch. Social media lit up with fans demanding accountability, trending hashtags demanded justice for Nicole, and online petitions called for the removal of anyone found complicit. Memes and viral videos dramatizing the poisoning circulated faster than official news outlets could respond. Pop culture commentators couldn't get enough, speculating endlessly about the scope of the betrayal and the implications for other Hollywood stars. One viral tweet summed it up: if it could happen to Nicole Kidman, it could happen to anyone. Keith Urban, still reeling from the emotional toll, became a central figure in the narrative. Insiders described sleepless nights, frantic calls to legal and medical experts, and a relentless effort to support Nicole while navigating intense media scrutiny. He's completely shattered, but determined, said a source close to the couple. Keith wants the truth to come out, no matter how ugly it is, because he knows Nicole deserves justice and the public deserves to know what really happened. His public appearances and heartfelt statements only amplified the scandal, cementing the story as both a cautionary tale and a human drama of resilience, loyalty, and heartbreak. The scandal also exposed cracks in Hollywood's system. Producers, agents, and executives were forced to confront uncomfortable questions about accountability, oversight, and the lengths some would go to protect wealth and reputation over human life. Rumors of internal probes swirled. Some insiders claimed certain executives were quietly removed from positions of power, while others faced intense scrutiny behind closed doors. Even Hollywood's most polished red carpet events began to carry an undercurrent of tension, as attendees whispered about loyalty, trust, and the true cost of fame. Dr. Daniel Amen, now a household name among fans of investigative drama, continued to release findings in a controlled, methodical manner. His detailed reports and expert commentary painted a terrifying picture of what had nearly become a tragedy of the highest order. Anonymous sources described Nicole's resilience as miraculous, noting how she navigated the physical and emotional trauma with a combination of courage and calculated vigilance. She refused to be a victim, one insider said. Instead, she turned the tables on everyone who tried to harm her as the layers of deception unraveled. Hollywood itself faced an existential reckoning. Could the industry survive scrutiny at this level? Would executives, managers, and personal staff rethink their loyalties when lives were literally at stake? And, most importantly, how many other stars might have faced similar threats behind closed doors? These questions fueled both fear and fascination, keeping the story at the top of public discourse. By the time Nicole Kidman returned to the public eye, her narrative had transformed from a simple accident story to a full-blown expose of betrayal, danger, and resilience. Interviews, press conferences, and controlled social media statements showcased a woman who had survived attempts on her life and emerged stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. This wasn't just an accident, Nicole stated in a rare public interview. It was a wake-up call for me, for everyone around me, and for the industry that we thought we knew. It's time the truth comes out, no matter how uncomfortable it is. And so, as video closes, the story leaves us with a sobering lesson. Hollywood's glamorous facade can conceal dangerous realities, even for the brightest stars. But courage, resilience, and the tireless pursuit of truth embodied by Nicole Kidman, Keith Urban, and Dr. Daniel Amen proved that even the darkest conspiracies can be exposed. What began as a near-fatal car accident evolved into a saga of deception, loyalty, scandal, and redemption that will be remembered for years to come, because in the end, the message is clear: fame doesn't guarantee safety, trust can be deadly, and the price of silence is far higher than anyone could imagine. And as Hollywood reels from the fallout, one thing remains certain: this is a story that will continue to captivate, horrify, and inspire, leaving audiences questioning everything they thought they knew about stardom, betrayal, and survival. So, what do you think about this shocking revelation? Could someone as trusted as Keith Urban really have been caught in the middle of a scheme that almost ended Nicole Kidman's life? And those around her, were they truly trying to help, or were they secretly putting her in danger for their own gain? Hollywood has always been glamorous, glittering, and perfect on the surface, but now, the cracks are exposed and the truth is far darker than anyone imagined. We want to hear your thoughts. Who do you think was behind this months-long poisoning? Could Nicole have survived without Dr. Daniel Amen's intervention? And what about Keith Urban, hero, bystander, or something more complicated? Drop your theories, reactions, and opinions in the comments below, because this story is just too big to stay quiet. If you're shocked, outraged, or just can't believe the depths of betrayal revealed here, make sure to hit that like button. It helps us bring more hard-hitting exposes straight to you. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because in Hollywood, the truth is rarely what it seems, and we'll be here to uncover it all. Stay tuned, because the next scandal could be closer than you think and you won't want to miss it.